So what is it like to be part of such a large ensemble and getting together?
Oh, Jesus, who wrote that?
This is horseshit! This is dribble. This is, I mean, it's...
Sorry.
You take it, man. You take it. No, come on,
I don't even know what the question was.
Me neither. That's kind of what I mean.
What is it like being part of a large ensemble and working on films?
Who wrote? I'm sorry. I was doing it again. We did it. All right, sorry.
Well, I will say that it's great coming into it, seeing this whole family just interact with each other. And they were very welcoming for me, so that was quite nice.
Yeah.
Chris, you
right. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, signing up to a movie like this, when you know you have to make, you know, you have to keep coming back. You don't really know what you're signing up for because you don't know everybody involved yet, and to kind of be dealt this lucky hand of everyone just being just gems is really just an embarrassment of riches.
You've been a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a long time, and your fan experience. Do you have a good experience with the fans that you've old, young? You've
horrible.
What's wrong
The
with
worst.
Get a life. No, it's truly been it's been the thing that makes this. I mean, this sounds cheesy. That makes this all worth it. You know, when you're making these movies, you have them in mind because you know how much it means to them. Because I know how much movies meant to me when I was younger, especially things that involve trilogies and. The Mark said earlier, the dedication. That's really like the best word to describe it. They're so committed, and it's this kind of built-in anticipation and built-in hype, and it makes every day on set exciting because if you're excited about something, they're going to be excited about something, and that's what makes this so satisfying.
Perfect.
You can't walk around feeling bad for very long when someone's like runs up to me like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "Man, not even that nice to me at home."
I thought you were Chris
Sorry,
So you played Bruce Banner over and over.
I did a few
It says
times.
over and over. What have you learned about Bruce? These many films. What have you learned about Bruce Banner?
What have you learned about Bruce Jenner?
That's what we really want to know.
I mean, obviously he's a very complex guy. He's you know, if going back to his backstory and all the in the comics, he's got a heavy. He comes from a heavy background, and you know he's got to work it out. He has to really work it out, and he does. You know, he gets to where he needs to be.
Mark took one of the words for your question, Karen. It says. It says that Nebula is unique and complex, just like he said about Bruce.
Yes.
What's your best part
Very
about
similar
playing her?
characters, actually.
Totally.
Based on Bruce Jenner. Sorry. My favorite part of playing Nebula, I think it's just sort of trying to make this villain empathetic and trying to. I basically sort of feel like her lawyer, where I'm like, no, she was totally justified in doing all of the things that she's doing, and here's why. And hopefully trying to get the audience to sort of understand her a little bit more. And I think that's probably a good message for the world. Try to understand your enemies, you know?
So you played Thor over the cinematic universe many, many times. What was exciting about playing this version of Thor in Endgame?
Well, each time I've always wanted to do something different, and Thor Ragnarok was, for me, the biggest sort of shift tonally. And I came into Infinity War and was talking to the directors and said, look, I really want to continue with this newer version I've created, and they said, no, we've got an even newer version. And that was what I really appreciated in Infinity War and in this one again. And I obviously can't tell you about what that is.
No, it's some super cool stuff. I can't wait for people to see your stuff.
Thanks, man. Good. And Captain Marvel just made her debut and made her mark in the cinematic universe. How was it to be playing with the Avengers?
I don't know who I play with. I don't even know what my point is in this movie at all. I might just stop in for a quick sec and then leave.
Come on, quit underselling.
Don't
it was the
say
highlight
that.
of your career.
Do you remember it's the best thing you've ever done?
No,
When you meet
Highlight
Thor,
of
it's in the
career.
trailer.
That's right.
Oh, that's in the trailer, of course.
That you said that was your highlight.
You did say that
As
was
a-
a highlight of your
I felt like
a
that
human
was
being
tough
and
to
as a
shoot.
character.
I felt like it was difficult. I
Tough.
remember you being very
Just
difficult
anxiety,
that day.
I guess. We were all just like, relax. We're all
It's
human,
just Chris.
you know,
It's just Chris.
I'm just, I'm
Chill
from
out.
Australia, you know. Touch me, I'm real. You know. She fainted.
I shot this before Captain Marvel, so this was like, I think of it as the time when I was like getting, all around just trying to get sea legs.
Gotcha. And Don, you've been in the Marvel Cinematic Universes for a long time. What is your favorite part about playing War Machine?
Oh, why'd you have to say legs? Why'd you do that right before my question? It was like you were trying to tee me up for something. No, this has been a very interesting ride and a lot of fun and a lot of growth that these characters have and still to be this many movies in and to still be changing and to still have new stuff to do. It's just been really exciting.
So both of your characters were off doing other things during Infinity War. So how does it feel to be back in the fight?
We don't fight. We get along famously.
In fact, the reason we weren't even in Infinity
We were playing
War,
ping pong.
We went on a ping pong tour across Europe.
That's right.
We were visiting France.
Yeah, we had swim lessons together, right?
It was a really great time.
It was a fun summer.
And then we got back and found out everything that had happened.
That's right.
And thankfully, we avoided it.
That's right. We did well.
Okay, Jeremy, your character Hawkeye has a close relationship with Black Widow. How did it feel as an actor to get back in the groove with working with Scarlett?
Hey, man, I think it's kind of with everybody. That's the best part of this movie is because I've been with everyone for so long. It's all pretty much like family. So, it's the best part of the movie.
And we saw Ant-Man with the Avengers in Civil War. So
Yeah.
how was it for you? What
Well, it
the
was
best part?
especially nice for me because it was, it was a little bit like seeing some friends that I met once long ago and hadn't seen in a while, and I got to come back and hang out, and it was amazing. I mean, it's a fun thing to work on something that is so kind of global and has such interest, but it's made better by the fact that everybody is really cool. It was nice to hang out with everybody and go to dinner, with some dinners. What an amazing thing to be a part of.
The tone on the set. This film has a different tone. How was it working in the tone?
The tone was like a B flat.
I think so. Yeah.
It's like a B flat, which I always think that's the nicest tone,
Yeah.
and it's one that's really not used very much.
Agreed. Working with the Russo brothers.
Yes.
Tell us about working with
They're
the Russo
amazing,
brothers.
man. They're awesome. They're I wish I could do more with them. They're so busy now, but yeah, they're wonderfully collaborative.
Yeah.
And super smart. And it'd be weird kind of just having one of them around now, right?
I know they do. They work in the way that I guess siblings who have grown up and have been interested in the same thing their whole lives. It's like they do share a brain, and
Yeah.
they're both kind of in control of everything that's going on, and everything that's going on is so massive. It's still kind of shocking to me that they've got it all going on up
Yeah,
in
it's
their
unreal.
brains, that they can
Yeah.
see it all.
Yep.
They're really impressive.
Yep.
And for each of you personally, what was the what has been your highlight of your experience so far in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
What has been the highlight?
The highlight for you.
This moment right now. It really, not sitting in front of you, you're pretty amazing and all, but I think it's to come to this, I didn't know this was happening, what was going on. It's kind of, only now you can kind of look back and reflect upon the last decade of all the movies, and I got to be a part of a lot of those, which is pretty awesome, man. So I'm very excited to see this movie.
Me too.
Can you see it on my face?
Uh,
This is my excited face.
I can see it. I've hung out with him a lot. You can't contain him right now. It's an incredible thing to be a part of. I'm late to the game, but it is amazing to be a part of something that is so beloved all over the world. And to pick out one thing that's been the most incredible part is impossible. It's pretty great, though, when you get to hang out with some kids and when you see kids react to these characters and these movies. It's a nice reminder of what's the power that it actually has and what's important.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe is a diverse world. How important is it for you guys to play strong female characters in that?
It's honestly, my character has had such an interesting journey because I started out in Iron Man 2 as basically like a glorified secretary who like kicks ass on the side, and then got to really like kind of peel back the layers of and build an actual person. Not just like the sexy secretary sidekick type of played out version of someone. So it really, as the kind of 10 years has passed, it's amazing to see how important it's been for all these different studios to catch up with like what's going on in the real world and what's going on in the zeitgeist and what's important to fans and audience members. And really it's the audience and the fans that have pushed the studios like Marvel to come into this century and and to really show the characters that represent what's going on in this world. And so it's really awesome to feel a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool. I when I sat down with Ryan and he talked to me about this character Okoye, I mean, what was really exciting to me, I've always been passionate about telling stories from an African female perspective and showing their complexity as well as their strength and their abilities and their capabilities. And so to hear what he had in mind was just really thrilling, because it was a character I just knew I had never seen before. The idea that she was the head of an army and the head of the security of this nation, and that the sort of I felt an immediate connection to that in the sense that, having grown up on the continent, like the idea of this sort of nation was really exciting to me, one that had never been colonized, and so the idea of protecting it was something I connected to really quickly, and so it was really cool, because I got to, the beauty of that, like what Scarlett's saying, is we got to really collaborate, myself and the other women that we were creating these characters with Marvel, with Ryan, in the course of creating Black Panther, and we really got to collaborate on our mindsets around how these women would address the world, and how they would be complicated and powerful, and they're in a country that allows that unabashedly, brings the women into the fold as full, capable, equal members of whatever part of society they are great at being a part of. So I just loved being able to be a part of that sort of a narrative, and yeah, absolutely, it was about time to see that sort of thing as a whole across every single genre, of storytelling. And so it's really exciting that that's happening so much, with Scarlett's character and of course, Brie Larson's character, and you're just seeing it in so many ways throughout things now, and that's really exciting.
Well, you guys are both great custodians of your characters.
Thank you.
In that message. Two quick questions, one for each of you. Scarlett, you've played Black Widow many, many, many times. What's your favorite part about playing her?
I think my favorite part about playing Black Widow is that she's not afraid to be vulnerable. She really, that's one of her strengths, I think, is that she doesn't always know how she's going to do something. She just knows she's going to do it, and she doesn't always feel capable. She's just going to try and do her best, and that's good enough for her as her best. And I think she's someone who is a very fully realized woman, and she's grown and she's learned through her losses, and she's kind of ebbed and flowed with the change, and I like that about her. I like that she's okay being broken. She's okay coming from where she's come from, and she's okay with having these kind of shades of gray in her past. I think she's really she's complicated, and she's okay with that. I think that's cool.
And third time's a charm. What's the favorite part about playing Okoye?
She's very unapologetic. And she's not really trying to please anybody. She really answers to something much deeper that's, really rooted in her foremothers and her forefathers who've created a system that she believes she must maintain. So there's something really thrilling about playing a woman who is unapologetic in what she can bring to the table, and in her strengths, in how she can strategize around a situation, and still at the same time, has a ferocity and is very at ease with her femininity.